All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name's Chris Hawkes, and this is Your Best Life Defined. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate you guys keep checking in with me, seeing what I'm doing, you laughing at me, watching me talk and mess things up. I don't mind. I don't mind. It really doesn't bother me anymore. I think the big thing is that I wake up every day and I have this thing that inspires me, and it's the idea that along with all the great things I get to do every day, one of them is stepping out into the arena, like Brene Brown says. She says, "Step into the arena, the man in the arena." I don't know exactly where she got that from, but you wake up every day and you take a look at your life and you choose to be seen. And that is, I believe that no matter where we are in life, we have something to give that is beyond us. In other words, I think the more you give, the more you get. So I'm giving, I'm throwing it out there. I'm saying, hey, I was an ugly person and this is how I fixed it. And I'm really glad I did because, it doesn't matter what else happens in my life. It doesn't matter where I end up or when I die. I will not have missed out on the opportunity to share the things that I do and the ideas I have in my life because I'm telling you my life. I'm sharing with you how my life has progressed. I will never miss out on that opportunity. And there will be some in the world that say, well, that's crazy. How can you base your life on what you love to do? Well, you can't unless you change your thinking, unless you change where you draw your values from, where you draw your success from, that definer for why we're so cool, why we're exactly where we need to be. But here's the deal. Two things are at play here. The first thing is if you follow the path you're on and you're really curious about where it's going, take a look at anyone who's made the same choice as you, possibly your father, your grandfather, your neighbor, your older neighbor, who's lived that life, owned all the same things you own, did all the same things you did, worked until he was 65, 70, retired, and then if you're doing those same things, you know where your life is going. You're going to end up just like him, and pretty soon you and your partner are going to be sitting on the front porch of your house, rocking, out of gas, broken down. It's what we do in between the time we are born and the time we die that matters. It's not what we have. It is the experiences we are able to capture, the things we are able to invite into our life that brings us light, that lightens our fire, that gets us going, that rocks us. People think I'm crazy. It's like always doing something, always doing something. You know why? Because the things I'm doing inspire me to do more things that I do. Kayaking and RVing, that can't be that much fun. I guarantee you kayaking and RVing is a hell of a lot more fun than spending an afternoon organizing boxes of crap you had to have but didn't need. Don't worry, I'm not judging. I was there. Question is, what are you missing out on while you're engaged in the futile activity of moving stuff you will probably never touch again around in a room? What are you missing out on? See, I got rid of my house and all the things that I had because I realized I was missing out on on sitting on the Grand River, on spending an evening kayaking. And by the way, this is might be off the subject a little bit, but I got to tell you something. So here's the deal. So I didn't understand kayaking when I first got into it. I really didn't. I didn't know what it was for me. Now, there are some people who get in a kayak and they just cut the water up. They're headed from point A to point B and back as fast and as hard as they can. And I used to do that. I mean, that's how we started out because that's the view I had of it. The last couple of days I've been hanging out, and instead of pushing it, I've been trying to go as slow and easy as I can. I've been trying to blend in with the environment, with the river, right? And the other day I'm kayaking, and I may have told this in a previous podcast, but I'm like still amazed by it. I had a school of fish following me. And because I wasn't making any noise, I could look ahead and you could see fish rising, and they were coming toward me. They were coming to see what this thing is that didn't seem to be scary. I'm going to tell you, if you don't take the time just to paddle along the shore on a kayak, you're going to miss something. Especially in calm water, when the sun's a little high, just early evening. Yeah, don't miss out on that. I guess maybe maybe one of the biggest reasons if you're not having any luck finding motivation for you to do this, because let's face it, this is how you change this. Let's talk about that first. So there are things that have passed you by. How do you capture things and don't allow them to pass you by? Well, you have to define them. You have to scan your horizon and you have to say, okay, let's just pick something. Hey, partner, come here. Hey, best friend, come here. Let's talk. I'm tired of just rolling this way. I want to do a little better job of rocking this thing called life. So let's look at what our options are. What would we like to do? And that's where it starts. That's the part I don't get. I'm okay with your life. I'm okay with your life, but why would we allow ourselves to consume so much of our time and resources on material things that it prevents us from doing any of the things that we were meant to do to experience this thing called living? I guarantee you, most days out of the week for most people look exactly the same, from the time they get up until the time they go to bed. Maybe they eat dinner at home, maybe you eat out, maybe you drink wine or beer, whatever it is, but your evening, from the time you get up until the time you go to bed, it's like clockwork. And it's easy. It's easy to just roll into that, but every day that goes by that you don't take action in your life is another day you've missed out on an opportunity to go farther. Doesn't matter if it's for anybody else or if it's for you. If you have something on your mind or there's something that interests you or a place you would rather be, bust a hole in that wall. Break down a wall on that life and say, hey, we're expanding, we're moving this direction. And go for it. Because you're going to miss out. See, the one thing about getting older, I'll be 59 this year, and the one thing about getting older that just sucks is your energy level. If I worked out as hard as I do now, when I was 25, I would be cut up. I work out hard. I spend a lot of time moving. Sandy and I spend a lot of time moving, and we just can't do it. So when I look back at how hard I lived my life as far as the things we got to do, I spent a lot of time working out. It's hard to do some of these things. And if you wait another 10 years, wait till you're retired, you know what it's like to crawl out of a kayak? And I'm in pretty good shape. I did 120 walking lunges yesterday. So I work out every day. I'm glad that I decided to retire when I did, and I decided to shrink my life down to the point that it fits. See, there's the hurdle right there. This guy called Chris Jaquez on his podcast, he's over here telling you, you need to change your life, make it better. Where are you going to fit it in? Sandy and I were talking yesterday, my wife, and we were talking about that very issue. And we agreed. I told her, I says, I'm over here preaching about how to add things to your life, and you're saying, where? And she goes, yeah, that's what I've always thought, is where in the hell am I going to find one more moment to do anything? Well, that's the trick. Even if you don't do anything, here's the trick. Start talking about it. Start talking about how important it is to you. Start talking about how amazing it would be. Do research on it. Watch videos on it. Whatever that thing that you think you might want to do. That's all you have to do to make it happen. You will find a way. Maybe you won't clean the cars every weekend. Maybe the basement can go without vacuuming. Maybe house cleaning day isn't every day. Maybe house cleaning day is on Saturday. I don't know. But if you don't start thinking about it, you'll miss it. Just like don't use it, you lose it. I've got skills that I had that I no longer have. I have to go find them. Will they come back quick? Yeah, they'll come back quicker than if I didn't have those skills. But the point is, you don't use it, you lose it. How much time on the average day do you spend thinking about where you're going? Not just in general terms like I'd like to go to Disneyland or I'd like to go on a cruise, but actually plotting out the next step in a series of steps you've already completed toward a goal. Something bigger beyond where you are right now. You don't have to. You're still going to be a year older. You sit on your butt and do nothing for the next year, you're still going to be that year is still going to pass. Is it easy? Well, it depends. You notice if you've ever been at the base of a trailhead that takes someone up to a 14er, you don't ever see anybody laying on their back in the bed of their truck going, oh, we got to climb this mountain. Oh, crap. Wish the day was already over. You know why, don't you? because it's something that doesn't make them feel that way. They are embracing every aspect of it. It's cool. It's their adventure. It fires them up, gives them energy. Do you talk about how your knees hurt when you get done? You talk about how tired you are, how winded you are, how wind beaten you are because you got to the top and a storm came in? Yeah. But no one's saying, man, that sucked. No one's saying that. They're saying, yeah, that was cool, man. My hair was standing up on my arms. I got all nervous and crap. It's an energy-filled event. If you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything, again in your life, it can be whatever you want, but you're limited by resources. Obviously, there are things you're going to miss out on because you just don't have the resources to acquire those things. But within your circle, within your realm, you have all kinds of choices. So why not choose something that makes you feel like when you climb a mountain? Pick something good. It doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to be money generated. And the only success that has to come from it is the success you find in it. The success you find in it is all that matters. Your story, right? Do it. Do it before it's too late. Because it can be too late. There's a possibility. Not wishing any bad juju on anybody, God forbid. But someone woke up today and they will not go to bed tonight. And what's interesting about it is all those things they collected lose their value. I mean, tons of stuff. My dad had all kinds of stuff packed in his garage, important trinkets and things that he knew he was going to need. And I'd go in there and say, Dad, let's clean this shop. And he's like, no, I need that stuff. I might be using that. I'm going to make something out of that. And just like that, bam, it was gone. I'm not judging you, not making judgments for any of your choices as far as whether they're good or bad. The question isn't mine to answer. The question is yours to answer. And the way you answer that question is ask yourself honestly, how do the things make you feel? And more than that, what are you missing out on because of those choices? I get it. Maybe the story that you have been told is that you have to own a fancy house. But what's that doing for you? I mean, I get it. I have a house. It's not fancy. It's fancier than some. But it's built around what I truly love to do. And what I love to do is to experience new things. And now I'm finding out communing with nature is great. I mean, that's one of the biggest opportunities you'll ever have to actually get connected with who you are. Go walk, turn your phone off, no music, no earbuds, and actually pay attention to the sounds of nature, to what you see, to what you smell. Life-changing. There are a lot of things in life you can do, and there's a lot of things that no matter what we do, we're going to miss out on them. But we don't have to miss out on everything, and I think that's my point. So hopefully you're picking this up. Hopefully you have applied something. I'd love to hear from you. I'd actually love to hear you tell me if anything's working for you, if anything's resonating with you. And if you have questions, my point of contact right now is the podcast posts, which I will actively pursue. YouTube, you can ask me questions on YouTube too. But my point is that this is a conversation. I honestly believe I have the answer to any question you can give me. I think I do. I mean, within reason. There are some, I don't know how to do brain surgery, so don't ask me that. But I mean, I'm just saying, and I challenge you to wake up every day and ask yourself what you can do better, how you can do it. And if you're not sure how to do it, let me know. I'll find a way to get you that information. That would be really cool for me. It would be exceptionally cool for you, because you got to realize that no matter what happens with this, no matter what you do with this, because of where I am, it's going to continue to get better for me, because I've found the recipe for moving forward, and it's about taking action, and it's driven by the idea that you have to have things worth going after. So keep that in mind. Wake up every day with a kind heart. Make sure that you don't fall into this trap of hate and separation, because other than the top 10%ers, we're all in the same boat. There isn't anybody doing that great in this life. And besides that, hate doesn't help anything. Try a little kindness. Try a little time to step away from the world and focus on yourself just long enough to see some of these things I'm saying are actually true. So keep it in mind. Until next time, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.